Hello again, race fans and esports enthusiasts everywhere from Road Atlanta in picturesque Chestnut Mountain, Georgia, in the North Georgia foothills. It's time for the AMP eSeries. Hello, everybody. I'm Bill Rigdon. Alongside me is our producer, William Rigdon, and sidekick. And, first time for us at Road Atlanta. Interesting story is that for 10 years, we lived, 5 miles? We could hear the track and never set foot on the property, and here we are virtually at Road Atlanta finally.
Well, it is great to be back, Bill, and as I went off to college, I came back and bought a house not too much further down the road from Road Atlanta. We were actually up there this weekend for the running of the Walter Mitty, which is the annual historics race they have at the track. Saw several of these Miatas, not these particular ones. Some older Miatas were running, but just as much fun along with all the other cars, historic stock cars, downforce. Pretty much if it ran in the past, it was out there this weekend at Road Atlanta. And so we are excited to get to run here virtually this week. A lot of these drivers are local to Georgia, so they know this track very well. This is in our backyard. So, Atlanta Motorsports Park, as I like to tell people, is not the only racetrack on 53, because you drive about an hour south of us and you'll hit Road Atlanta. And it is a great track, has a lot of elevation change, just like Atlanta Motorsports Park. It is just over 2 miles long. It's a very high-speed, fast-paced track. You need to keep your momentum up, especially in these Miatas. It's very much going to be how these drivers run the groove tonight is going to dictate how this race goes. And with that, it looks like qualifying is wrapping up, Bill. And it looks like your pole sitter for this race is going to be Zach Holden with a 136.54.
And following up is Dion Fiala. He was sitting in third for most of the session and got in a good quick lap there towards the end. Behind him will be Ryan Flannery. Rounding out the second row will be Raiden Nickel, our 13-year-old. Then comes Michael Day, Peter Hutchings, Matt Carroll, and Chuma Onabogu, Leo Oliveira, and Jonathan Greenberg will fill out the top 10, a 15-car field, to run today's two 20-minute segments. Are we going to do it that way this week?
It was still scheduled this week as a 40-minute race, but I've been told that we are going to throw a competition yellow at the halfway mark. So it
will be 40 minutes with a competition caution, just like last week.
Yes, and expect to see the field gridded back up, or we're going to do it just to tighten them back up, although they shouldn't need much help, because as we saw last week, it was very tight field, very close racing action. That's what we love about these Miatas, is it's not the hardest car in the world to drive, so these drivers are able to stay grouped up. Now, some people will tell you differently, that it is a hard car to drive, and most cars in this game, if you don't know what you're doing, are hard to drive. But these Miatas, Bill, let me tell you, they're a lot of fun to throw around the track. I did a lot of seat time in it myself, getting ready for this week, just having a little bit of fun on the VR. And while these drivers are running in the 136s and 137s, I was, giving it everything I could and just barely able to crack a 140. So, these drivers are good. They have run a lot of time here. And we should see it all pay off once this field gets gridded up and the action gets started.
And it should be any moment now, as we said, wrapped up qualifying.
I think we got one straggler out there. Wait until they advance the session. There it goes. And it looks like we should start having a grid. There we go.
I always use the tail end of qualifying as a couple extra practice laps until they forced me off the track, because I needed as much practice as possible. Still didn't help any, but I always needed it. So here we are gridding up here again. Your pole sitter is going to be the 09 Zach Holden. On the outside will be the 117 Dion Fiala. Row 2 will be Ryan Flannery and Raiden Nickel. Row 3, Michael Day and Peter Hutchings. Row 4, Matt Carroll and Chuma Onabogu. Row 5, Leo Oliveira, Jonathan Greenberg. Row 6, Oliver Piatek, one of our real track drivers out there. Ben Warren will flank him. Then 7th row will be Roger Mast, Fred Hazelton, and row 8 will be George Wheeler and Corbin Mitchell will round out the field. Now, I don't know if Corbin's going to be in there. He doesn't show as posting a time. He's also showing a 17th behind the race director, who will not be in the race, but he has a placeholder here just so he can be in on things and control the action. Lining up behind the Porsche pace car is the field. They'll take a lap or two around, and we'll get underway here very shortly. Actually waiting for Dion to show up to strap in.
Did load in. Don't have to set a time. You just have to be in before the end of the gridding. So once that 2-minute timer starts, when they advance the session, as long as you can make it to your computer and hit log in, you've got a spot.
We're waiting for Fialo and Hazelton, and then we should be good to go. And Fred is strapped in and gridded. And there's Dion, and we are ready to get underway. Got a good crowd here, standing there by the fence to see these guys come and cheer as they go by. Right there next to the pedestrian tunnel.
Yeah, it was fun up there this weekend, Bill, listening to all those old stock cars go around. Our friend up in Dawsonville, Bill Elliott, was out there, managed to bag himself another victory. He's always a strong contender during when they run the historic stock cars. And it was fun listening to the post-race on the radio. But it looks like we're only going to do a short pace lap here, so about to go green.
All right, so we will come out of the final turn down to the start-finish line, and we are underway. Green flag is out. Green flag is out as Dion Fialo bolts into the lead. Right behind him will be Zach Holden and Raiden Nichols side by side.
Going 3 wide there into 2, Bill.
Oop, a little bit of contact there, too, between Holden and Nickel. Looks like Nickel got the worst of that as Ryan Flannery will look to the outside, but no, Raiden Nickel takes them both, although he is on the outside position as they go into the S's here, and he will.
Fialo's going to get strung out there.
Through. Yep, Fialo's taking advantage of all that action, but Raiden Nickel, with some nice moves there through the S's, takes over second, and he will set sight on Dion Fialo as Flannery, Holden, Day, and Matt Carroll will be 4th, 5th, 6th behind Raiden Nickel.
That was Zach Holden I was looking at. His car looks awfully similar to Fialo there. He's getting left out, going from 2nd to 4th there, coming through the S's. As they hammer down the back straightaway, should get up to about 120 miles an hour in this section here before they are hard on the brakes, coming into the notorious 10A, 10B. And you can see them going 3 wide there with Michael Day on the back of that pack of 3 right now.
Got a pack of 7 going back there after the top 2. Got a big gaggle of Miatas coming out of turn 12 and down to the line to complete the first lap.
Not
turning
I would say 146 and not too far off qualifying there, Bill.
Right, well, Fialo turned to 143.
And so we should look for that. We should look for those times to improve as the field does string out, because we're almost, that was about 7 seconds, 8 seconds off qualifying pace.
Again, we're talking about a 40-minute race here, and we're almost 3 minutes into the first segment. It'll be a competition caution thrown at 20 minutes. Although, as you were saying earlier, not sure how we could bunch this up anymore other than to let the field catch up to Dion. Because he's already got a 3.25 second gap on second place Raiden Nickel. Ryan Flannery is in third. Challenging back from him is Zach Holden. Looking underneath,
that was Michael Day.
A little landscaping there was Michael Day. Nothing doing there.
Well, what he gained on the entry there, he lost in momentum having to late break, and that did not pay off well for Michael. Ended up losing more than he gained, as it looks like Peter Hutchings trying to make the pass, and Michael Day looks like he's having some trouble now, Bill. He just stayed to the inside there, let about 3 cars by. Hopefully did not take any damage there going off-road like that, but we'll see.
See if he can make up some ground, but you're right, he did give up several positions now, so he's back to 8th. Doesn't look like it's hurt him other than that loss of time, not that he's going to lose any more after that. But he's about to lose contact with that pack from 2nd on back to 8th.
He doesn't need to leave. He doesn't need to lose his draft buddies, because on this back straightaway, if you don't have somebody to put your nose up against, it'll lose a lot of time.
And as we learned last week, these Miatas draft very well, that if you can stay within a second of the car in front of you, you can hang on. And so he might be faster than you, but the draft will help. Now, that being said, Dion Fiallo is not helping anybody out, as he's 3 seconds ahead of 2nd place. Now, Ryan Flannery, as Rayden Nickel has run into some kind of issue, he's fallen back now to 4th place. And we get one turned around. That's going to be George Wheeler, our 12th place runner. Gets it right back underway. He only lost, I guess, 1 place. Yeah, he only lost 1 position, so a nice little do-si-do there for George Wheeler, but he was able to recover and keep going. Let's see what happened here.
That was the replay we just watched.
Okay. Oh, okay. So there we go.
And I'm trying to see what happened, because as that was going on, I'm not sure if you're seeing what I am, but trying to see if what happened to Flannery there. Or is he still running up front? No, I saw. Someone must be running that other. Someone else must be running that Coca-Cola livery.
The only one I've seen has been Flannery, but let's keep an eye out down the field.
That was Roger Mast that we saw. Okay.
Ah, there we go. Yeah. And
I knew my eyes were not deceiving me. I've got my new prescription lenses
coming down
right
pit road. Did he hit? Is he taking damage, or is this a strategic pit stop for him?
Don't know. Let's see. I'm looking in the. I just see inner pit lane. Might have had an earlier incident. I'm not seeing anything on the on my list here. It just looks like he had an off track earlier. I guess that's.
Yeah, he did. As we saw,
all it's going to
show here. He's coming back over the hill.
Back up to your fight for 2nd place right now is Ryan Flannery. He's trying to hold off Zach Holden. The ever so patient Zach Holden hanging on for the win last week.
Zach looking inside, looking outside, ducking inside as they come down to complete lap number 4 here. Rayden Nickel, again, back and forth. He was in 2nd, but he's fallen back about a 1.5 seconds to 3rd place. Meanwhile, Ryan Flannery catching the curbs and nipping the apexes and doing everything he can to keep that Coca-Cola Miata ahead of Zach Holden, but Holden staying with him. Turn for turn, keeping pace. We are 7.5 minutes almost into this 40-minute event. Again, competition caution will come up at 20 minutes, so we're getting into halfway to that.
And you've noticed Dion has pulled out to that almost 3-second gap, Bill, but I don't think he's able to gain too much more on it, because let's see, as they come down this back straightaway, Holden and Flannery should be able to take a bite out of that gap as they draft.
It's under 3 right now. You're right, going down that straightaway.
Because you can see as they start getting up to the upper speeds that, well, it was shrinking for a second, but Fiallo, master of 10A, 10B.
That's right.
And it looks like there's some back and forth right now going on for the 4th position between Peter Hutchings and Rayden Nickel.
So as the field comes down to complete lap 5, your leader is still Dion Fiallo. Flannery and Holden duking it out for second. Fourth is Hutchings. Now fifth, he who has gotten around fifth place, Radon Nickel. Michael Day, after his troubles, is up to sixth now. Leo Oliveira and Matt Carroll, seventh and eighth. Greenberg and Hazelton round out your top 10. 8 minutes, 45 seconds into this 40-lap event. Beautiful shot as they come through the S's. That's turns 2, 3, and 4. And heading up into 5.
You can see these drivers using every square inch of track that they can. Little puffs of
Radon
dirt.
Nickel, got a little bit underneath Hutchins. Hutchins, hang on.
Going for the style points, Bill.
Really?
Drifting it through turn 5. And I wonder if that might have been a connectivity issue there, Bill.
Because it looked like Nickel had been having trouble. And has he gone? It looks like he may have.
He pulled from the race.
He's back to 16th. Yeah, because he's.
Let's see.
He is sitting still right now, I think.
Yeah, it said he jumped to pits.
Yep.
And it's not even letting me pull up the replay because I think he is disconnected. So,
well, fortunately for
I don't know how Hutchings still managed to hang on to that. Now with Michael Dade making the pass on the outside, though.
Yeah, Hutchings actually gained a position on that, so now he's up to
And
third.
while that was happening, Flannery looks like he got left out because he went from second back to fifth.
There he goes. That's just it. That's where it came from. They all freight trained by him. Do you have an incident, or can we see what happened to Ryan Flannery?
Let's see here. That was not soon enough.
Looks like a lot of people got by him, though.
Oh, that's what
that could do it. That could be it right there, as he got together with Zach Holden. So Holden and Flannery having their issues, but able to continue, not having to pit. At least not yet.
Well, you can tell these little Miatas are resilient when the game doesn't call that a crash. Normally a big red bar pops up on my HUD here telling me there was a crash to go to the action. But you can definitely see some of the damage there as Ryan Flannery has a sad mirror on that Miata.
Yeah, they don't look in the rearview mirrors anyway. Who needs them?
Well, still good enough for a 5th spot currently. So as long as he can make it to that midway competition yellow, he can probably stick it back in the pits real quick. Maybe take advantage of that quick repair. Don't know. It'll be interesting to see what our drivers do here, Bill, because do they go in and lose position and get the fixes, get the tires, get the fuel? Or do they stay out and try and save position? Because that's what we saw last week. Strategy almost paid off for Michael Day. Although those tires started wearing a little bit thin there at the end. Are they going to stay out and take the risk, Bill? And we will see how this plays out because we are at the 12-minute mark. So we still got about 8 minutes to go.
And Dion Fiallo has stretched that lead out to about 7 seconds now. We were talking sub-3, and now he's put on 4+ more seconds onto his lead.
Well, Flannery and Holden were both in the 2-3 cars, so that's probably where it's at. I think the gap. He's only put about 2 more
up behind him.
Yeah, he's only put about 2 more seconds on that pack. That was Day, Hutchings, and who was that? I'm sorry, my brain is already losing. Oh, it was Radon because he dropped out earlier.
That's right. Well, now Michael Day, who we're looking at now, is your second place runner, starting to maybe reel in a little bit onto Dion Fiallo as the gap is now under 7 seconds, back to about 6 3/4. Of course, that's going to vary depending on where they are on the track. Maybe the best place to judge is at the start-finish line, so we'll see how far he is once they get through the 10A, 10B, 11, and 12 come out down the straightaway, and we'll see what the interval is at the start-finish line so we can have something relative to look at. But Peter Hutchings is not going to wait that long as he's looking to get back around and reclaim or get second place from Michael Day. So here we come down to the line now as Fiallo will finish lap 8 and Hutchings will now be your second place runner And he will be about 7 seconds is where we're standing right now. So it's Fialo, Day, and Hutchings who were trading it back and forth.
And we're looking at.
Then comes Oliveira, Flannery, Carroll, Greenberg, and Chuba.
We are looking at the battle for 8th place between Oliver Piatek and Shuma Onabogu. Oliver, off camera, that last lap had a good run, picked up 2 positions. Just there getting a 3rd one as he got around Shuma. Had a good run on the back straightaway. But now he has a mountain in front of him as there is a 15-second gap from that 8th position up to the 7th, currently being held by Jonathan Greenberg. Greenberg all by himself up there, has about a 3-second gap ahead of him, about 15 seconds behind him.
Well, Greenberg was showing further back. He's made progress. He's all the way up now to 7th. So good job there for Greenberg.
He's a
the other green car that I've seen back there is Corbin Mitchell. He's hanging in at 14th. I may be confusing the two, but as long as you keep it out of the wall and keep it out of the other cars, you're in good shape.
And he is rocking that Game Stonk livery right now.
I do like that beer can chrome finish he's got on there. Makes me think of the Oregon Ducks. It's that kind of shiny green.
Looks like Oliveira might have picked up a spot here over Ryan Flannery.
We are 5 minutes away from the competition caution. We are at 15:21 here. And I've just been completely glancing over the paint job on Leo Oliveira's car. But I read it more closely. That's very clever. I like that. I like his sponsor this week.
Half the fun when calling these races, Bill, is always admiring the creativity of the drivers, since they have almost unlimited choices in which liveries they can run.
Or they could even paint over their dad's paint job if they want to.
Yes, they could if they had a moment of inspiration to make a Hulk Hogan Mazda Miata livery.
Which will be corrected this week. All right, so let's go back here. Fialo now opened up a 7.5 second gap over now second place Hutchings. That's been settled out. Peter Hutchings second. Michael Day is now third. Those two are still going at it, hammer and tong, for second and third place. Then the aforementioned Oliveira, Flannery, Carroll, Greenberg, and Chuma, top 8. Then Oliver Piatek and Ben Warren will round out your top 10. 16 minutes, 45 seconds now into this 40-minute event. Looking back now at Ben Warren, our 10th place runner.
Checking in on the Ben Hammer. Although it seems like let's see if it looks like he might be making a run on it. Let's see if he can catch back up to Oliver Piatek. Because it looks like Shuma was able to get back around Oliver here while we were covering up front. So this mid-pack here, Bill, is not letting things be. And it's going to be interesting once we throw that competition yellow and we group them all back up. Because I think they've all made friends in their various packs right now. So once we group them up, put all the ants in a jar, shake them up, and let them loose.
Yep,
see what happens.
Mix that in with the various pit strategies that these drivers will take. I think tires are not necessarily going to be as big an issue here as they were at Barber last week, given this track has more high-speed sections, and which will less wear than a lot of technical cornering.
And it looks like while we were covering back here, Michael Day in a little bit of trouble.
Took out that right rear. The left rear, rather, on Michael Day. Spun him around. He popped the wall.
That looked like a racing incident.
Yeah. He had to take a tow, and he lost that left rear.
Slow that down, because it looks like Leo Oliveira might have gotten into the back of him.
He did. He hopped him. Hopped over that quarter panel and that left rear tire.
And I hate to
Ryan
see it.
Flannery able to avoid was able to avoid trouble there as well.
And you hate to see it, but you gotta love those new damage models on the. Trying to figure out why our graphics here all of a sudden don't want to show you the action. There we go. You hate to see it happen, but these new damage models, Bill, they are fun to look at.
Michael Day, he's still in the pit. I'm not sure if he's towing or getting repaired yet.
No, he had to take a tow on that one, so it's going to be probably a 2 to 3 minute, probably more.
He's going to lose. Yep, he's lost a lap already. That is very unfortunate. I don't guess there's a lucky dog in this, is there?
No, I do not think so, but let's see what happens to Oliveira. No, he brought it in too for the repairs, although he didn't have to wait on the tow, so he should be able to get out of here momentarily.
He's just having his right sides changed, and he'll be underway.
It looks like he is already
directly. And it looks like Michael Day is back underway as well. He is moving.
Yeah, he's getting, so
I thought he was.
Well, his tow is done, so now they're working on the cars.
Yeah, oh, there we go. Okay, that's what I was seeing. Okay,
so
it's
not technically moving.
It's not showing him in the pit on our scoring here.
Well, I'm not seeing much on the scoring. Let me see if I can get this back up for everybody at home. We had we're in some small technical.
Where'd he go?
Small technical issues here.
This job would be a whole lot easier if it weren't for the technology.
And there is our competition yellow.
We are at 20 minutes. Yellow is out. And everybody will be able to stop, take a breath, put on 4 new Goodyears or whatever they're running, and top it off with some of that Union 76 fuel. I have no idea. Just going to throw names out there. Jet Pep, that's the brand I like. Although there aren't any more Jet Pep stations, I just like the name.
It looks like we're completely down on the graphics right now.
Well, at least what matters, the action on the screen is still there. And as they come around, they should be taking the yellow. I don't think have they taken the yellow yet?
It came up on my screen, so they
are flashing. Yeah, the yellow lights are flashing.
They've got to race around until they meet the pace car.
Right.
Although they're not racing to the pace car, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure the field is frozen.
They're catching up.
Because even if they do make a pass, it will tell them to get back in line on the restart.
So at the halfway point, we're showing now Peter Hutchings, your leader. Did Dion pit, or what happened to Dion? He's shown back in 5th.
There we go. That is what happened, Bill. We were still stuck in that replay.
Oh, that's why we're okay.
All right,
Good job,
I had to reload
Director.
I know, right? That's what happens when you multitask.
Now we're caught up to the pace car.
All right, this is making a lot more sense. Sorry, it's 2 weeks in a row, folks. That's what you get with live productions.
And cheap talent.
But we wouldn't have it any other way.
So, exactly. So can we go back and see what happened to Dion?
Let's, unfortunately, no, because I just lost all my data having to reset the...
Nuts. Okay, so...
But we can, in theory, back it up a good ways. Let's see where...
It happened just very quick.
Let's see, we can scrub this all the way back.
And we'll see, because he was leading. Oh, there he is behind. Mast, I believe. No, who is that?
Yeah, it looks like Mast. That's the
yeah, it is Mast.
Coca-Cola. So whatever happened prior to that. Let's see if we can go back a little further and find out for you folks tuning in at home. Doing some investigative Oh, he looks
Oh,
like he took his pit.
All right. So is he planning to take advantage of everyone else coming in behind him and then come out in front?
Because it looks like
when they
Flannery
resume. So he did
stayed
pit.
out.
Okay.
Oh, no, Flannery's coming in now, and Hutchings coming in now.
Well, I guess I could have actually just looked up at my stats here, and it says when his pit lap was. Now he's going to cycle back up to the front. He pitted on lap 12. I don't think it would have mattered. He'd been in front from everybody else. He'd come out in front. So this may be a wash from a strategy standpoint. Somebody's smoking back there too.
Most of your field coming in. Oh, someone smoking in the pits, or
oh yeah, there it is, and it's not the 420 car.
Oh, that looks like Mr. Mast right there, and he may have. Let's see.
Is he blowing up or what? Oh,
yeah, he had a small incident. Let's see.
He hooked it, got into the grass, and wham.
It looks like he was having trouble prior to that. So we can go back a.
So everything was. Oh, yeah, that'll do it right there, I think.
Well, what amazes me is he was able to keep driving after that. This is the.
Now, did he take a tow or did he drive in?
I believe of course it looks like he kept on driving.
He kept going. Okay, well, good for him. Reminds me of that time Davey Allison did that at Daytona. He rolled it. Well, he hit that embankment on the back straightaway and
I know what
drove
time
it
is.
Back to the pits.
Bill, we are going to check this one out on the gyro cam.
All right.
In super slow motion.
All right. You just like this art for money stuff, don't you?
For those of you watching in virtual reality at home.
Yeah, really. Grab your barf bags on that one. Oh, mercy.
Well, we still have
quite a trip there.
We still have, because the lights are still on the pace car, so I believe we have another lap to go here. So we're just filling time, Bill, till we get back underway.
Although Roger Mast is going to be 3 laps down, so he didn't lose any more time. And we are coming around, and the lights are still on the pace car, so we'll at least have one more time around as the field is going into turn 10A. We'll complete this one. We'll probably get one to go next time by. One would think. We are 26 minutes in, so we're just going to have 14 minutes of racing, less than that, by the time they come back around again. Meanwhile, Corbin Mitchell is busily trying to catch up with the rest of the field.
The lights are off, Bill, so
next time by, as they're going to go 2 by 2. It's double file restarts here in the AMP eSeries.
Take about 2 minutes, go engage the autopilot, take a quick leak, sit back down, whatever the drivers have to do. We will be green in less than 2 miles. We were, a funny story about that, we were in the peanut gallery this weekend for Michael Day as he was running the 24 hours of Nürburgring solo, managing to get into the second to the top split and building up a little bit of a fan base because some of the other drivers in there knew he was running solo, so they were all waving at him every time they'd pass by. But we were in there helping him time his pit stops, his tire strategies, and when the best time to use the bathroom because, he'd come in there and have to pit, get everything done, grab a snack, get back underway. Although I passed out before he did, so I didn't see if he finished or not. So we need to check with him after the race, see how that went.
That's actually been done in real life. It's a very dangerous thing to do. This was back in the old days before safety was invented in motorsports. But there have been drivers attempting to do Le Mans, the 24 hours, all in one stint. Of course, that's illegal now. You have to have at least 3 drivers, and there are strict rules. But it's not as dangerous to fall asleep behind the wheel of a sim. Maybe you'll anger somebody if you spin out in front of them and ruin their day, but it's not going to hurt anybody. All righty, we're on that backstretch portion here at Road Atlanta, going through that bend at turn 9, heading down to 10A and 10B. It's So we should be back around and under green very shortly. When we hit the line, we'll be somewhere around 29 minutes. We have about 11 minutes of racing to go in this 40-minute event. Now, looking back, Hutchings looks to have been the loser from this pit stop exchange because he went all the way from second back to eighth. And here we go. Green flag is out. We're back underway, and Fiallo already assuming the lead. Tight behind him is Holden. Oliveira and Piatek are third and fourth, followed by Day, Hazelton, then Hutchings, Flannery, Greenberg, and Matt Carroll.
And Hutchings going wide there, pushing it too wide.
Oh, got a little action going back there. I saw Chuma run into some issues. Who's that into? A couple of them into the wall there.
Matt Carroll. Let's see who that recorded. Yeah, Matt Carroll was a part of that one, and doesn't tell me any other names, but let's go back and watch that one. Well, that was Schuma getting into him.
Yep, I saw smoke coming up from Schuma's car, and then saw somebody fly into the wall, and that was Carroll. So
it looks like he was the only victim of that contact because Schuma is still out. We'll see if that damaged him at all here.
Well, his car is aptly painted for damage.
Well, it says there on the side of the car, caution, so you can't say he wasn't warned.
Warned. Absolutely.
Or in this case, he wasn't warned.
Oh, ouch. Ooh. Okay, you may go.
All right. I will see myself to the door. And your fight for the lead's still pretty tight here. The gap of only 0.36 seconds between Dion Fiallo and Zach Holden. Leo Oliveira not too far behind, shaking it up for your top three right now. And just behind them, Michael Day leading that second pack. He's got Oliver Piatek, Peter Hutchings, and Fred Hazelton hot on his heels.
So Hutchings has already made up 2 spots. He's hit the line at 8 in 8th. He's now up to 6. We'll see how far he can fight his way up in this final 10 minutes, or actually 9 minutes now of racing here at Road Atlanta. We're watching that mid-pack go through the S's. Everybody throwing it out, leaving it all out there because there's not a whole lot of time left in this race. Less than 10 minutes now, less than 9.
Well, this is what we wanted to see, Bill, a tight scramble for the win. And right now these guys are, with that competition yellow, are grouped up nice and tight. Should make for an exciting finish here as the field goes barreling down that back straightaway. Hutchins practically pushing Peter.
That's right. Pushing Oliver.
Or Oliver, I should say, yeah.
Yep. And he's looking to the outside on that curve to set up.
And he's going to he's going to try and outbreak him into 10A.
Into 10A. Oh, yeah. Gets down way low, does it. Pulls off the pass, maintains it through 10B. And now as they head through 11 and 12, your new
5th place.
5th place, yep, will be Peter Hutchings. So he may be the man to watch to make the moves up through the field. He had some.
Looks like we got a little trouble here with Jonathan Greenberg. Let's see if we can see what happened
here. Yep, caught it again. Got a little tough going into 10B.
Although it looks like
able to carry it back underway.
Managed to get out with no damage, so that shouldn't affect him much more than just the positions he lost. Not going to have to wait on a tow.
Chuma's lost his mirror on the driver's side. It must have been in that little mix-up he had earlier.
It was just crate and drag. Let's go back up to your leaders here.
Yep, what's that noise? I don't know. Whatever it was fell off. So there we go. Fiallo now with looks like a 3/10 lead over Zach Holden. Leo Oliveira staying in 3rd. He's about a 2 3/4 back. Then Michael Day and Hutchings.
Well, Day has managed to catch up to Oliveira, so he is hot on his bumper, in contention for a podium right now.
So Holden may give Fialo some grief as well, and we may have a 4-car battle before it's all over if they start dicing it up. And they're going to need to, because they only have 6.5 minutes to go here. So we got 3 2-car battles from 1 through 6.
Like more trouble for Greenberg. Oh, we got multiple cars caught up in that. Looks like Matt Carroll.
Right.
All right, we're going to go back
Greenberg,
to the replay. See if we can see.
And there was a car spinning earlier by Schuma as well. Yeah, oh, they got together. All 3 of them got together when I think we'll see somebody come spinning across.
I didn't see who that other car was.
Saw a wheel come off. So it looks like we've got Warren, and who else is in the pit right now? Matt Carroll. And here comes Corbin Mitchell into the pit, by the way. The misfortune continuing there. So back to the action on the track. As 1 and 2 are getting tighter and tighter. 3 and 4 likewise. A little bit of a gap now between 5th place Flannery and 6th place Hazelton. Hutchings falling back to 7th. I think all that action back there kind of messed his charge up a little bit. But there's Schuma.
Schuma is having a little bit of damage in that car because looks like Oliver just got around him with ease. And it looks like Hutchings is all back by himself as well. I wonder if he's, yeah, you can see that bumper is a little sad up front.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're under 5 minutes to go now. So is it worth it, the time lost that you're not going to be able to make up to get that repair?
Well, at this point, it's all going to be position. Just stay on track, get those points.
That's right.
Because this is a short season, only running 5 races. So these drivers have to get as many points as they can if they want to vie for a podium in the series point standing.
Day is pressing Oliveira now for 3rd place. Keep an eye on that battle as
they're coming up into back traffic here as Ben Warren has managed to get back on track.
Day is, as you had said earlier, pushing him.
He is all over that bumper.
And we'll get around the lapper with no incident.
Ben Warren given the courteous point by.
As we're coming out of 7 now. No change of position there. Meanwhile, up front, Fialo's able to put a little bit of distance between himself and Holden. Still a lot of racing to go. It's only 3.5 minutes, but a lot can happen in that last 3.5 minutes.
Depending on how this shakes up, Bill, we're either going to have 2 or 3 more laps to go here. Let's see, this time by, we should be in the high 130s.
And we are 3 minutes out, so that'll be probably at least 2 laps. I have a feeling they'll take the white flag right before the 40-minute mark. So I think, is that going to be 3 laps total? Man, look at him.
I don't know, Bill, but I will take whatever they give me because I want to see some good racing here.
Well, you know, Dion's going to turn the fastest laps he can right now. His last lap was just a hair slower than his best, so he's.
Do you think the pressure might be getting to him as Holden is not backing down? You can see they're taking wilder and more wild lines through these turns, Bill. Gradually,
you're right. As Holden's closed in on him. What was a 2.5 car
Holden's out for
gap is
right
about
now.
1 car length now.
He is racing for the win.
Likewise with Day.
He is racing for that podium. We should look to him to make a move here soon. Might be this time, but it's going to have to be next time if he doesn't.
Waiting for his opportunity. They come in here through 10A. Will it be 10B? Michael Day takes a look, but did not have position just yet. They come back now, and they'll take 11 and come into 12. Hit the start-finish line. It's a minute and a half to go, roughly. So we'll have, this lap, and it should be next time by will be the white flag, one would think.
Day going.
And there goes Day looking to the inside of Holden. Of Oliveira.
As he set him up there perfect for position going into the S's and makes the pass.
So your new third place runner, Michael Day.
And now to see how Leo responds. And better yet, make sure Day keeps a hold of it. I know he was trying to set that up perfectly, and he did. But he's still got to keep it under control. They've got at least one more lap to go because I did not see the white flag.
Nope, not yet, because they're coming back around. The leader is now just coming out of turn 7. And when they get to the line, he will be at the line in less than 30 seconds because that's all that's left in our scheduled run time. Keep an eye on the leader now as Dion Fiallo heading down into turn. Well, it may be close.
And Holden going for the pass here, dives to the inside, Bill. Oh, they make contact. Fiallo goes back around trying to keep position.
They're going to be side by side coming to the line. It is going to be, that's time. And so this should be the checkered flag this time by because we were at 40 minutes.
Side by side, Dion Fiallo. Wow. Gap back around.
4/100ths of a second was the gap at the line.
And while we were calling that, Leo Oliveira made the pass on Michael Day.
Oh.
And, of course, the celebratory demolition derby that is turn 1 after any iRacing event. And let's go back and look at that pass by Leo Oliveira there. Oh, coming and did the exact same thing Day did to him one lap prior. Oh, the irony, Bill. As they go through, set that up. And you could see Day about shoving him there.
Here comes Dave trying to.
And they were. Man, you do not see racing like that, Bill.
That was 3/100ths of a second difference between Day and Oliveira. What a 1, 2, and 3, 4 finish we had. So
let's watch this. Yeah, let's watch this battle for first one more time. That was the exact same, almost the exact same, but different result. Went for the pass on the outside. Dion managed to hook it back up in there.
Because Holden had him, and then he lost him, and then he had him, and then he ended up losing him just by a whisker coming to the start-finish line. We need to set up a finish line camera, I think, Mr. Director. I wonder if we have do we have the blimp cam or something we could look at that, see how close it was at the line?
Let's see if we go back. Yeah, let's check that out.
All right, so let's take a look at it again as we watch Zach Holden momentarily take the lead, then Fiallo take it back, then Holden come back again as they go into turn 12 here. And here they come side by side to the line, and it ends up being.
You could see how close that.
By less than a fender length.
Wow.
Is the winner, Dion Fiallo. So let's go run down your finishing order here while Wilbur tries to grab somebody to bring up into the booth. But your winner, Dion Fiallo. Second place, barely, was Zach Holden. Third was Oliveira. Fourth, barely, Michael Day, followed by Ryan Flannery, Fred Hazelton, Peter Hutchings, Shumon Abogu, Ben Warren, Corbin Mitchell, your top 10. 11th through 15th, Oliver Piatek, George Wheeler, Jonathan Greenberg, Matt Carroll, Roger Mast, and finally, Raiden Nickel. Had a tough day. Raiden brought some excitement to it, but had his misfortunes and had to leave.
And we have got Dion Fiallo with us up in the booth, Bill.
Hey, Dion. Heck of a run there. What happened on that last half a lap?
A little, mind games, trying to throw them off, break the draft. and try to position myself as best I could into 10A.
Well, it looks like y'all traded the lead 3 or 4 times between 10A and the start-finish line. So, were you certain you had him at that point? Did you have him right where you wanted him?
No, I had to go down an extra gear because of how tight we were into 10A. So as we came out of B, I was in the wrong gear, so he got ahead of me, but I had the shorter line, so I was slowly coming back ahead of him the whole way down the hill.
Well, tell us about the pit strategy. We noticed we kind of were watching everybody else, and then all of a sudden noticed you were back in 7th or thereabouts before the competition caution. You early pitted before the yellow. What was the thinking there?
I was thinking that with the pace car closing the pit lane, that I'd be able to get back ahead when everybody else pit. It was actually quite a bit closer. Strangely enough, Zach almost jumped everybody in the pits. But yeah, it ended up working out in my favor.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like you were first coming into the caution anyway, so as long as your pit crew did what they were supposed to do, you were going to be in and out in first anyhow. But that was an interesting strategy, but it looks like it ended up paying off for you, if only by 3/100ths of a second there at the line.
Yeah, just enough.
So how are you settling in with these Miatas after 2 races now?
Oh, they're a hoot. They're so much fun. The trickiest bit is keeping track of your tires, not putting too much heat into them, not sliding too much, but at the same time, sliding is the way to go fast. So it's
right.
Give and take.
Edge of control always, right?
Yep.
Right. Well, congratulations on a great run and another exciting race. We've had just a whale of a time calling these, and thank you for providing us with the excitement and your first win of the season. Good job.
No problem. Thank you for having me, as always.
All right, there's your race winner, Dion Fiallo, winning by 3/10 over Zach Holden in this second week of the Atlanta Motorsports Park eSeries.
Let's see if we can get Michael Day up here. Michael, in the broadcast booth with Bill and Will. How's it going?
Not too bad. How are you guys?
All right. You had 3rd place in the bag until right there at the end. What happened?
Yeah, my car was really down in the straights. I was actually losing the car ahead even in the draft because it had permanent damage from that first hit. So that's really unfortunate because draft is so crucial in these cars. On the last lap of these races, or the second to last lap, you actually want to cross the line in second because you're almost guaranteed to be able to get around down the straightaway and close it off before 10AB. So, but it was really fun. I had a good battle with Leo.
Yeah, looks like you were just about to pull it off as y'all went through 10A and 10B, but yeah, I guess the aerodynamics let you down there right at the very end.
Yeah, I had an incredible run up that hill, and I thought I was going to have just enough steam to make it work, and just didn't quite have it. So props to him, though. It was good driving.
So how did the car perform for you overall? Are you settling in with these Miatas 2 races into this 5-race season?
Oh, yeah, I love the car. Again, the only thing here that was really working against me was that damage that couldn't be repaired from earlier. Other than that, the car felt great.
All right, well, congratulations on a 4th place finish. That's
so
better than 11 others. So
Can't
complain about points in the bag.
Exactly.
Live on air.
Go ahead, Will.
How did you end up doing in that 24-hour race? I know I kind of bailed on you.
That's right.
But you were about 12 hours into
really
it when
fun.
I left. How did you finish?
So amazingly, we did end up finishing. I tried the previous year and made it 9 hours in before I had to tap out. And so we finished this one. I started last in class. It was actually second split, and worked my way up to P8 and crossed the line. So that was really, really cool.
Oh, that's cool. So you did all 24 hours. I bet. How quick did it take you to fall asleep after that?
Actually, about a day. My body was completely off cycle after that, so it took almost a complete day to fall asleep.
What do you do to prepare for something like that? Do you just sleep a lot or pound a lot of 5-hour energies, or what exactly do you do?
Well, typically you would try to sleep a lot. Unfortunately, my body had other plans. I got about 3 hours of sleep before I took the green flag.
Oh.
So that was especially brutal. I ordered Uber Eats and lined up some snacks and drinks and planned out bathroom trips and set the AC and made sure there wasn't going to be glare and reset the router and did all the stuff I could think to do.
That's actually an amazing thing too. I was talking to William on the air about this. Is that actually drivers have attempted to do this back in the 30s or in the old days before there are regulations in the real world at Le Mans to try to run the whole thing one driver, and it's been done, but it's a very dangerous thing. In your case, I stand up and applaud that you have the intestinal fortitude to make it through that.
Well, I'm trying to see what that's like as far as the limits of driving on these controls, because there's actually a solo class in 24-hour kart races that we're interested in.
Oh, neat.
So
Okay.
I wanted to see what that was like.
Now you know. Are you eager to do it again?
I am, actually. It was a lot of fun. I took a little bit of damage. I fell asleep at the wheel and bumped the wall. So I'd like to try to finish the thing higher next year, even though I had a great result and without any damage. We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, congratulations on that achievement and on your fourth place finish today. Michael Day, your fourth place finisher here at Road Atlanta in the AMP eSeries, the second race of the season. And looking forward to seeing all these guys next week when we come back.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
All right. Great. Thanks again.
Thanks, guys.
Well, that will do it for us, Bill, on interviews. I think everybody else has already taken off. So with that being said, wow, that was so far the most exciting finish we've had, I think.
I won't say that they're unexpected, but they do kind of catch you by surprise that they get that close at the end. Now, we've had the real tight finish for the win, but this is I think the first 1, 2, 3, 4 photo finishes that we've had.
That was the first double we've had at the finish line, because, I mean, the F2000 series that we did in Season 2 was a lot of fun. We had a lot of tight finishes during that season, but nothing, I mean, with the exception of Mikey Lemon Drop Lane taking the victory during NASCAR season. Well, I say, was I not the most excited I've been for a finish in a while, Bill?
Well, so, it's a heck of an evening, heck of a race, and it's been a great time here today at Road Atlanta. Again, race number 2 in the Atlanta Motorsports Park Summer eSeries. And we think we are about run out of things to say, except where are we going to be next week?
So
I didn't even bother to ask.
At Long Beach next week.
Oh, okay.
So go ahead and bring out the SPF 40 and get the virtual umbrellas ready, because we are headed out to California for a...
All right. We're looking out for the spots of movie stars, and we will be all set to go next week. Same bat time, same bat channel here on the Atlanta Motorsports Park eSeries. Again, for Will Rigdon, our producer and color commentator, I'm Bill Rigdon, wishing you a pleasant evening and thanking you for joining us for the Atlanta Motorsports Park eSeries. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week in Long Beach.